Asiyah bint Muzhaim anha was the wife of one of the most powerful and corrupt rulers of all time, Pharaoh, the ruler of ancient Egypt. Imagine a woman who has it all, access to power, wealth, and a high status. She believed in the one true God, but was married to the one who claimed he was a god. Pharaoh was a cruel and oppressive tyrant. He massacred the people of Bani Israel and many others, simply for believing in Allah or going against his beliefs. Pharaoh's desperation for praise blinded him. But the ones closest to him, his wife Asiyah, maintained deep faith and optimism in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Asiyah radiallahu ta'ala anha lived a luxurious life where her marriage to Pharaoh was an arranged marriage. As royal marriages go, this was the making of a power couple. Asiyah's faith and determination was unique and inspiring on its own. But the reason her story is so special is that it intersects with our beloved Prophet Musa alayhi salam's story. It is said that Asiyah radiallahu ta'ala anha could not have children of her own. However, when she found baby Musa alayhi salam floating down the river of Nile in a basket by himself, she was delighted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired Musa alayhi salam's mother to save him from the torment inflicted by the order of Asiyah's very own cruel tyrant husband, Pharaoh. Pharaoh had dreamt that one day a son of Bani Israel would kill him and overtake his kingdom. Out of fear of this coming true, Pharaoh had ordered the killing of all newborn babies of Bani Israel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan saved Musa alayhi salam, where he inspired Musa alayhi salam's mother to send him down the Nile River, straight into the house of Pharaoh. The irony of this is incredible, reminding us that Allah is the best of all planners. He literally sent the basket carrying Musa alayhi salam as a baby down a river to the exact moment where Asiyah was at the river. Thinking it was treasure, Asiyah radiallahu ta'ala anha retrieved the basket from the river. Upon opening the basket, she saw a baby Musa, and her heart was filled with joy. Pharaoh welcomed the baby boy into his house, upon Asiyah's wish, raising him lovingly as their son. Asiyah radiallahu ta'ala anha loved Musa alayhi salam, and after he left the palace becoming a prophet of Allah, she accepted his message of Tawhid. Despite Pharaoh's threats and his cruelty, Asiyah set aside her fears and accepted the message of Musa alayhi salam. Pharaoh had other children from his other wives. One day, the hairdresser of one of Pharaoh's daughters was tending to her hair. The hairdresser dropped her comb and literally just said Bismillah. The daughter, taken aback, said, Abi Allah, my father. And the hairdresser said, no, the Lord of your father, the Lord of me, and the Lord of you is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Knowing this would upset her father, the daughter told Pharaoh about the incident. Pharaoh was furious and decided to make an example of the hairdresser in front of everyone. He ordered a pit to be dug and filled with molten copper so that the hairdresser and her children could be thrown into it. Pharaoh first forced the children to jump in, forcing the hairdresser to watch as her beloved children suffered and died when only the hairdresser and her youngest baby, who she was nursing in her arms, remained. The baby spoke. This was a miracle. The baby said, go ahead and jump, for the punishment of this life is lighter than the punishment of the next life. And with that, the blessed woman, full of hope and optimism in Allah, jumped in. Asiyah had witnessed the hairdresser's courage and faith. Deciding to declare her faith openly to Pharaoh, she rejected Pharaoh's claims of being God, announcing her faith in the oneness of Allah. This resulted in Pharaoh ordering his servants to take Asiyah to the desert and torture her in the scorching sun. Despite being deprived of food, of water, and being laughed at by her own children and other children of Pharaoh, Asiyah displayed a beautiful expression of profound hope. She looked up to the sky and made this famous and beautiful dua. O my Lord, build me a house in paradise near you, and save me from his evil doing and the wrongdoing people. This dua came from the great woman of Islam, Asiyah bint Muzhaim, a woman of power, wealth and high status, who gave up everything for her faith in Allah.